I'll call this meeting of the May 10th City Council meeting to order. Tracy, could I have roll call, please?
Bermal,
Here.
Harrington,
Here.
Sittig,
Here.
Smith,
Here.
Wason.
Here. Thank you. Item 3 is the approval of the agenda. The ICAD presentation, item 10, has been removed, as you were all made aware. Kate can rejoin us at the next meeting. Any other questions? Nothing else has been changed about the agenda. Could I get a motion to approve?
So move.
Second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Item 4 is our consent agenda. Anything on there that you want to pull out and talk about separately? Could I have a motion for that, please?
So moved.
Second.
It's moved and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Item 5 is public comment. This is time for anyone in the public to bring to our attention an item that's not already on our agenda. I don't see anybody in the public out there, but I'm going to give it a shot. Going once, going twice. Closed. Item 6, Kevin.
Okay, thank you, Mayor. Some project updates. Let's start with Ranch Way Phase 5. The retaining walls, those are done now, and they're working on the grading and paving of the trail. Planting soil, trees, plants, and the lava rock mulch is underway also. And they're continuing on the underground electrical work. And they'll also be starting on painting of the concrete walls this week. And that'll be followed by the metal gear and chain artwork. So we're kind of excited to see that go up. Then after the trails and sidewalks are paved, the restoration will begin on the outside of the roadway. That'll also include installation of the biocell and planter areas, final grading, and then more trees and planting. So it's going to really start looking really nice out there, I think. Centennial Park Loop Road, that project is now substantially completed. We did a final walkthrough and we issued a punch list of remaining items for the contractor. And they have a completion date of June 6th to complete the punch list. Dubuque Street Phase 1, that one is also moving along. They've paved Phase 1 and 2. Just finished that yesterday. And then they'll start on the sidewalk and driveway work in the next few days. And that Main Street intersection will likely be open to traffic in the next couple weeks. And they've also started on Phase 3, the storm sewer and grading work. That's where it's going to curve and connect on to North Front Street. They'll probably be paving that in the next 2 weeks as well. So then phases 1 through 3 are getting pretty close, which they'll be way ahead of schedule for that piece of it, which we're very appreciative. Especially considering they had a number of issues of really bad subgrade. We had to put down geogrid mat for that, and the underground box culvert that they found, they had to remove that. There were some utility delays, but and the rainy April. So we're pleased with so far. Lastly, the Jones Boulevard Extension Project, we sent the notice of award to the contractor. That's Schrader Excavating, and we'll be scheduling the pre-construction meeting. I can't remember the date.
Friday.
It's a week from Friday, 20th, so it's coming up pretty quick. They have a late start date of May 23rd. And we have Lynn County REC and MediaCom who have to relocate their utilities. We understand they're going to be starting work pretty soon, so might start seeing work there in the next few weeks. And that's all I have tonight, unless you guys have questions for me.
Kevin, can you remind us on the phasing of the Dubuque Street project? You said Phase 3 with the curve is going to be paved. When will that intersection be jammed into Front Street there? And
Yeah, Dubuque in
off?
front, that's Phase 4, so
Okay.
that's going to be where it's really impactful to the general public.
Right.
So that'll be probably, I'm thinking 3 to 4 weeks, maybe.
Okay.
Maybe as soon as that.
And then the intersection of Dubuque and Cherry Street will be well into June, sometime this summer.
Yeah, it'll be later on. Mhm.
Okay.
So yeah, the more disruption for the whole general population is going to happen this summer.
You guys have any questions for Kevin?
Kevin or Ryan, when we did the tunnel under 965 by the bank, was there any any hoopla when we opened that? Was there any ribbon cutting or anything? I'm thinking of something like with Johnson County Bicycle Coalition or something that could highlight that, or I don't want to
The-
create work for anyone,
Yeah.
but
Yeah, there was not for the Cherry Street one, but
maybe just something,
Yeah,
something to
I-
consider.
Can I
That's-
jump in?
Please.
There was, actually, we did a grand opening for the whole Liberty
the-
Center
the park-
Park and Pond,
Okay.
which was the first Blues and Barbecue.
Oh,
So
we won't top that.
so we did celebrate it, but it was
So I know
Just with the ribbon
when
cutting.
Ashley and I worked on Porch Fest to get things kicked off, a bike parade was huge. Like we had more kids show up on bikes than we could handle. And Heinz Ice Cream loved it. They showed up and handed out free ice cream cones to kids that came to the bike parade. So I don't know if that's something that works into, and of course, depending on the completion date, the summer slate or something like that. Just an idea.
Good point. I'll make a note and we'll talk about it. Thanks.
Thank you.
You'll be grand marshaling the parade?
I will be there. I will be there.
I rode my mountain bike was gonna be the first
Nice,
one, and
nice.
it was blocked off.
Go on top of it.
going through the line.
All right. Ryan, you are up next after you've finished jotting down Brent's important note.
Mhm. I will help with that, Ryan. You can assign me that task.
We've got you down as chair.
Nice. Does he get to wear a hat?
We'll make a hat for
Okay,
you.
perfect.
A few things on my end. First, just a reminder that our next meeting will start at 6 p.m. An early start date or an early start time for that, as we'll have our ARPA work session. You may have saw an email come out last week, I think it was, that we're now accepting social service applications. Those are due June 1st. So if you're aware of an organization that might be interested, please send them our way. Of course, we have the lists that have previously applied, but we don't always catch them all if there are new ones out there. So if you're aware of anything, send them our way. And then we'll plan on, not sure if we'll have it ready for the first meeting in June, but certainly the second meeting in June where those groups will come and present to the city council. Know that meeting will be probably a little longer than usual because we have close to 30, anyway, 20 to 30 applicants come in and visit with you folks. And then lastly, you probably saw in Guy's report that we have a leak at the swimming pool, and so we're in the process of exploring that right now. We had some folks out there today that found the leaks. Later in the day, the company came to evaluate how we can repair those leaks. There are a couple of them, and they're going to be back tomorrow. The pool had to drain a little bit more for them to take a closer look. So hopefully, sometime tomorrow we'll have a plan of action. Other than that, we don't know. We don't have any other details. We don't know if it'll impact operations. We're certainly hopeful it won't. But more will be learned tomorrow. And then finally, I would just note, I know we got a call today asking if we were going to open our splash pad earlier. We're not. We have some work to do on that yet, some de-winterizing to do, but they will be open it will be open at the end of the month. That's what I have, Mayor.
Thank you, Ryan. Any questions for Ryan? All right, thank you. Item 8 is Mayor's Report. Start with proclamation for National Alliance on Mental Illness. Whereas the National Alliance on Mental Illness, or NAMI, is the nation's largest grassroots mental health organization dedicated to building better lives for millions of Americans affected by mental illness. And whereas the face of mental illness isn't some stranger, it's our coworkers, our neighbors, our friends, our families, and sometimes ourselves. And whereas mental illness does not discriminate, it affects adults, children, and people of every ethnic, socioeconomic, religious, and political background. And whereas 1 of 5 adults in the United States experiences a diagnosable mental disorder, and 1 in 5 youth aged 13 to 18 experiences a severe mental disorder in a given year. And whereas suicide is the second leading cause of death for Americans' youth ages 15 to 24, and the vast majority of those who die by suicide have a mental illness that is often undiagnosed or untreated. And whereas half of all chronic mental illness begins by age 14 and 3/4 begins by age 24, therefore treating cases early could address and reduce disability before mental illness becomes more severe. And whereas NAMI Johnson County held its annual walk at 9 a.m. on Saturday, May 7th at the Terry Trueblood Recreational Area in Iowa City, the walk aims to inspire and initiate a community conversation about the impact that mental illness has on every part of our collective lives, from family systems to primary health care, to the education system, to the business community, and beyond. Now, therefore, we, the City of North Liberty, do hereby proclaim May 7th, 2022, as NAMI Mental Health Awareness Day, and urge all residents to increase their awareness and understanding of mental health and be informed of the treatment options available in our county for individuals with mental illness. Just a couple of housekeeping items on the calendar more than anything. Tomorrow, Keisha and I were invited to join the Child Serve program. They're providing a launch and learn tomorrow. They're expanding their services over here in Eastern Iowa. They're based out of their nearest chapter is in Des Moines, so we'll be able to tell you more about that at our next meeting. And as a reminder, next Wednesday from 2 until 4, the GuideLink Center is going to be offering that program. So if you are able to schedule some time to be down there, especially if you haven't been to the GuideLink Center from 2 until 4, I would encourage you to do what you can to get down there. Otherwise, I don't have anything else. Item 9 on its council reports. I'll go down the line, see if you guys have anything to add. I'm going to start in reverse order. Ashley, looks like you have something.
Yes, on the 19th, there is going to be a return of the Business League of corridor individuals that are in business, and it's going to be at Tin Roost from 4 to 6. I will be speaking on behalf of North Liberty City Council as to what's brewing in the corridor. There's going to be a representative of the new Field Day Brewing there to talk about the new operation that's coming to North Liberty. So encourage everyone to come and check it out.
What's that date again?
I will. It is the
The
19th. Thank you.
And what time?
4 to 6 at Tin Roost.
Anyone else? Yes, Brian.
We went to, I think Eric was there and Ryan, and we were at the fire department when they had 8 new firefighters who had completed their probationary period and were sworn in as firefighters. And then also Captain Humston, who got her officially got her bugles, because they never had the ceremony for that because it was all during all the COVID stuff. So we appreciate all their hard work and that they had put in over the last about a year, and we let them know that we would be supportive of that best we could. So
Thanks for your comments at that ceremony, and thank you for all of you that went to it. Great ceremony.
oh, and Brent went.
Yep, I was there. It was nice to. It was fun to see Chief Lotz be able to pin his son with his first badge as well. So that was pretty cool. I would also thank, and I did in an email that went to the Chief of Police and the Mayor this week for PD's involvement in our river response in Cedar Rapids. So certainly appreciate the willingness and ability for them to respond to mutual aid. And one of our PD officers from here was on the dive team that assisted us. So many thanks for that.
I just want to, we talked about this at our last meeting, but the film A Decent Home was shown at Film Scene a couple weeks ago twice, and it was really a good film. And if anyone didn't make it, wasn't able to see it, I definitely urge you to take any opportunity you have to see it, because it does feature North Liberty and some issues that our residents have. So
Many unresolved issues still that they're facing. So yeah, I think I went into that with some awareness already, but I left with kind of a determination afterwards. Anybody else? Okay. I promised Ryan at 7 o'clock ending time on the meeting, so I think we can fly now. Item 11 is the Matnick site plan, and item A is the staff and commission recommendations.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. So this is, now that the rezoning has been passed to multifamily, this is two 3-story multifamily buildings, 12 units apiece. Building is pretty well designed, I think, and well situated on the site with the parking in the rear. So Planning Commission did review this, and this is the preliminary site plan. So again, the new code is working, I think, quite well. The Planning Commission considered this on their May 3rd meeting and unanimously recommended approval. And John Marner, on behalf of the applicant, is here if you have any questions.
Any questions for Russ before we bring John up?
I just am wondering about the house. I mean, we haven't issued a demolition permit or a moving permit or anything like that at this point.
Not at this point.
John, anything else to add? Okay.
He is still working with various people that have been interested. I know he's had some walkthroughs. I know of at least one. I think there's possibly been two. I'm not certain on the second one. So there is some interest in that. He's still interested in trying to find somebody that's interested in relocating the house and pursuing that as an option. I don't have anything else to add. As Ryan said, it's a close location to the school, taking advantage of that multi-use path and any questions? Thank you.
Thanks, John.
Thank you.
Move on to item C then, which is resolution number 2022-48, a resolution approving the development site plan for Lot 1 Front Street Place, North Liberty, Iowa. Could I get a motion to start this?
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Kind of questions, comments, anything else left for Russ or John? We've had, I think, more publicity or more eyes on this since the very beginning than most of them, so.
I just appreciate the buildings. Look like just some architectural interest right there off of the street. So
I thought the same thing. They're interesting and not just a box, for sure. Okay, Tracy, could I have a roll call, please?
Wason,
aye.
Smith,
Aye.
Bermal,
Aye.
Harrington,
Aye.
Siddick.
Aye.
Motion carries. Item 12 is our Centennial Park project. And I'm just going to read the resolution, get this thing started, and then I'll turn it back over to Ryan real quick. Resolution number 2022-49 is a resolution approving the services agreement between the City of North Liberty and Shive Hattery, Inc. for the Centennial Park project. I have a motion just to get this started.
So moved.
Second.
And moved and seconded. Ryan, could you give us a quick overview? of
Sure.
this?
I think most of you know this is a project that we have been talking about for a long, long time. And recently, the state has announced a program called Destination Iowa, releasing $100 million in funding for projects just like this. And we think it's imperative to, at a minimum, start the design process, the programming process, so that we can prepare a suitable application and hopefully get some funding through that program. We're excited to move forward with this. We see the process to be similar to the City Hall programming and conceptual design process that took place here a few months ago. We will have a number of staff people involved in that. And then obviously the Blues and Barbecue folks will have representation as well to talk about what works out there and what doesn't, is that will be a big feature event out there, obviously, every year. So we are recommending approval, and we assumed as much and already have a meeting on the books. So if it doesn't pass, we'll have to cancel that meeting, but we are planning to move forward pretty quickly.
I know that you guys were all made aware of this in your meetings with Ryan. Do you have any questions left? Brent's got one stewing. No?
No, I've just heard of a couple cities already putting in applications for money, so it's
Yeah.
a good move.
Mm-hmm.
We got to go get it.
I have a question. Are there any private entities that have interest in participating in this and having it dedicated to?
We're going to explore that option. We've talked a lot about that, but we've not had any renderings or anything to show them. So we're hopeful, and we've actually solicited the Convention and Visitors Bureau to help us reach out to some of those organizations, much like they did with the arena, although of course it'd be a little bit smaller project, but so
Sure.
great question, and we're going to be following that lead.
This design cost was not included in our budget, right?
We had funding included in the FY23, FY23 budget, so not in FY22, right?
Okay.
So we'll have to amend for that, and this is one of those projects that ultimately we know we'll have to borrow some for, and so we'll come back later and borrow for what we aren't able to fund.
Any other questions for Ryan? Okay. Could I have a roll call, please, Tracy?
Smith,
Aye.
Bermal,
Aye.
Sittig,
Aye.
Wason,
Aye.
Harrington.
Aye.
Thank you. Motion carries. Item 13 then is Liberty Villas rezoning. And this is our second consideration of ordinance number 2022-10, an ordinance amending Chapter 167 of the North Liberty Code of Ordinances by amending the use on regulations on property located in North Liberty, Iowa to those set forth in North Municipal Code for the RS6 Single Unit Residence District and RM12 PAD Multi-Unit Residence District Planned Area Development. Could I have a motion for our second consideration?
So move.
Second.
Moved and seconded. You guys have any questions about this? Tracy, roll call, please.
Bermal,
Aye.
Sittig,
Aye. Excuse me, aye.
Wason,
Aye.
Harrington,
Aye.
Smith.
Aye.
Thank you. Motion carries. Item 14 is our zoning ordinance amendment. This is our third consideration and adoption of ordinance number 2022-09. An ordinance amending section 167.01 regarding the definition of masonry required, section 168.07, 27.9 regarding design standards for attached garages, and sections 168.07, 76, and 168.07, 77, correcting scrivener's errors. Could I have a motion for this consideration and adoption?
So move.
Second.
Been moved and seconded. Any final questions? All right, Tracy, roll call, please.
Harrington,
Aye.
Bermal,
Aye.
Smith,
Aye.
Wason,
Aye.
Sittig.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you all. Next item, old business. Anything we haven't covered or you want to rehash? I'm going to move before Brent comes up with something. 16, new business. Yes, sir.
Just they released the blues and barbecue lineup.
Oh my
Very
gosh.
interesting. It's pretty cool. I listened to some of their stuff online. That's going to be a good show. So when people start making it, you get it on your calendars.
Yes, no kidding.
And to add to that, they are seeking volunteers and they have the shifts listed on the website as well. So everybody can volunteer.
Put some time in out there. Yeah.
Yes.
I think we're all excited for that to come back. All right. Could I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
Yay. Let's all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Awesome. Thank you all.
You did it.